Greetings, boys and girls. Big Mike, handsome Levi, the guitar souls, as you know. Here again for episode 12. Fucking hell, man, it's flying in. Hopefully we've still got listeners. I'd like to think there are.
Probably not, one or two.
Fuck it, as long as there's one or two. It's much the same as the way I view gigs. If one person turns up and enjoys it, it's worthwhile.
Yeah, we're just doing this for us, really. We have a good time doing it. This is going to be a super quick episode because Mike needs to rush off.
Yeah,
and we want something else beforehand. So.
Yeah, and we want to feature the album club a bit more exclusively for the next kind of part of it, because we have got a viewer suggestion from Andy, John Fulbright. So today we've got a couple of topics which Levi's pointed out to me, and I have very short opinions on them, but we're going to talk about them obviously a bit more in depth. As ever, please let us know any feedback you've got. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies, spray paint guitar solos somewhere on the wall. If you'd be interested in any sort of merchandise, stickers, t-shirts, whatever, let us know and we'll try and do what we can. However, on to the guts of the episode.
Well, I've also pitched to you a Guitar Souls tour.
That's true, yes.
That'd be fun. Not because I think people would show up, but just because I have a title for it, the Bar Souls. I think that we just, go to your local Weatherspoons, we'll sit and drink and talk pish.
Yeah.
No one will turn up, but we'll be able to say we did a UK tour.
As if I'm not unintelligible enough. And you want to give me fucking alcohol? Yeah. Brave, man.
So today we are going to talk about a survey showing that the most popular genre of music in the UK is heavy metal.
Somehow, but that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
We'll briefly talk about Slipknot because they are talking about having 16 new songs written that are apparently very heavy, Iowa level heavy. We're going to have a bit of a giggle at the idea of Sinister Gates releasing a jazz solo album, and also I want to kind of point out the how disingenuous websites can be when they title up their articles.
Clickbait.
Yeah, and I'm going to give Mike a fun album to go away and listen to while he's on holiday, because I think he'll have fun with that. So where would you like to start? Let's
go with metal being the most popular genre in the UK, because that hits right at home, right in the heart. And obviously all those party cannon listeners, just filling out the ranks.
So I'm checking. This was is at bgo.com and skiddle.com have done some sort of survey where they have polled to find out what the most popular genres of music are in the UK. And this features heavy metal, dance music, country and western, pop, hip-hop, reggae, house, and other.
Other being pretty much any genre that doesn't fit them, I'm guessing.
I mean, I don't think I could pick house music out of a lineup, to be honest, compared to, say, dance music.
Okay.
In my mind, it's a similar vein of things. They didn't put classical music on here, though.
In the same vein that you're talking about heavy metal being an offshoot of rock,
yes,
then house would be an offshoot of dance. But house is way more popular at the moment than dance music is.
I mean, here we've got heavy metal, but there's no rock on here.
Yeah, but I mean that is a derivative.
But so what I'm saying is, this other is that people that think they're rock fans. I don't really like heavy metal, but I like rock.
Maybe they don't give you the list of which the other genres are.
Yeah.
It does also mention that this is a survey of 400 people.
Yeah, so that was what I was gonna look for. What is the sample size?
Yeah, it's not massive.
That's actually even smaller than I thought it would be.
Oh yeah. If you had to look at the genres across Spotify and just pick UK users, you would have way more than 400 people.
Yes. So Spotify can probably give a much, much better idea of what this actually should be. Mm-hmm. And I find it laughable that BGO think they can even contribute something worth, something of any use. Just jumping back to the house thing, that'll be why it's only 5% of people on the list have answered with that. Because it's just such a subgenre.
The other thing as well, for what it says here, is that it wasn't taken at random. These were people who wanted to do it themselves.
Right.
They were solicited to take part. So it could well be that people, stupid as this sounds, we metalheads are the best fans of all music, therefore everybody sign up and do it because we look like we are the best. It's not objectively scientific, however, who cares? It's still interesting.
It's a bit of a mess. I don't think it's interesting. I think it's laughable. So let's give the figures. Apparently, 20% of the UK music fans, 20% of them are heavy metal fans.
Somehow I don't believe that.
20%. That's interesting. 15% going to dance music, 15% going to hip hop music, and then 15% going to country and western. Only 15% of the UK's music fans are country and western fans. I know. You are absolutely speechless, mate.
I don't want to say that I don't believe it's true, but there's nothing that backs that up with any actual objective science.
Yeah.
Or the data that would give you that as a reasonable outcome to that study.
I have country books for sale,
Plug.
It's a niche.
Plug.
It's a niche.
Plug.
Before I went and did that, my publisher gave me some surveys that showed that country music is the most popular genre of music in the world. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't care what these surveys show. It's just not the case. I just don't believe it's the case. Sorry, don't believe it. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's an old-timey genre of music. In the same way that classical, who was it? Sorry, BGO. BGO didn't even feel the need to put classical music on here.
Unless that's under other.
It will be under other, but...
See, the thing is, they might have given 200 different answers, and others literally just the ones that fit underneath. Because, I mean, say you had another... Let's just say you had 100 other genres outside of heavy metal, dance, country, pop, hip-hop, reggae and house. Imagine, like, them trying to put that on that little graph they've done that's meant to look nice, like a musical note.
I'd not even noticed that until you pointed that out.
0.3%, you know what I mean? Like, it would be such a horribly messy visual representation.
Sure.
So lumping everything in that doesn't go over a certain percentage, okay, I can understand.
But I would normally agree with you, but there are also 2 entries on there at 5%. So you've made other look bigger than your 5%ers.
You know what I mean, though? Like,
yeah. No, you could totally be right there. And to me, that's where your country would probably fit in that other, along with classical music.
You think so? I think it'd be interesting to see it from an actual source. If you went with, like, Google Play or Spotify or one of these actual streaming platforms with millions of users that could give you a much bigger sample size at least to say, well, really these are the most popular genres that we find, and this is just data from people who are based in this country.
Okay, so for next time, I'm going to try and dig out that data and see if Spotify have published that. They must.
That'd be really fucking interesting, actually. Let's see if we can find it. I'm into that.
But not just find it, but kind of discredit BGO.
Pull them to bits.
Because, it's a bit of a mess to me. But obviously, I've seen this posted. It was on Metal Sucks. It was on Ultimate Guitar. And, all of the metal sites are posting this like it's some sort of win. Like, yeah, we're still popular. No, you're really not. You just need to go into any CD shop, apparently those are still things. If you go into HMV over here in the UK, you can see how big the metal section is. You can see how big the rock and pop section is. You can see how big the classical section is. You can see how big the easy listening section is. You can see how big the country section is. And that's a general guideline of how popular styles of music are. If heavy metal was the most popular genre of music, then you would see a reflection in how much space was devoted to heavy metal in shops that sell music.
I don't know as much, because I would imagine that most shops like that will pick from actual data, like who's buying the most of what genre per areas. So you might find that a shop in Aberdeen has got way more metal CDs than one that's in Glasgow, because they've done the market research of that study. Same as supermarkets have selective lines and how much they offer in certain things.
But still, I can't see one where the heavy metal section is going to be bigger than the pop.
I agree with you. I don't mean that as in, oh, you're going to find it if you go to this city that metal will dominate the shop. But I think it will probably go by area. There will be some sort of market research in that, because everybody wants to make money.
Well, the market research is people don't buy albums anymore, so they've stopped us doing them. Though you can buy vinyl records in Asda now, so
I know, it seems to be quite a massive resurgence in vinyl.
That's probably why we've not seen Kendo. He's just sat at home wanking over his vinyl collection.
Rattling Painkiller every day. Good on him. As long as he's happy.